Morning Chelsea fans, Chels Daft here, back with another Chelsea news video, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired by an article, and I'm inspired by a statement I saw on social media the other day. You've seen the headline, you've seen the thumbnail. I'll elaborate. Simon Phillips in The Sun wrote this thought-provoking headline. Chelsea's defensive record under Thomas Tuchel is brilliant, but of lack of creativities and goals could cost them dear. And the statement I saw on social media was that Roman Abramovich did not spend over £200 million this summer just on clean sheets. The whole purpose of me doing videos like this and the other Chelsea content creators is for two reasons. First, to entertain you guys, and secondly, to stimulate your minds, to be a bit thought-provoking. And that's what this article headline is, the statement on social media is, and what this video will be, because we have to be subjective and we have to look at both sides of the argument. That's the whole purpose of doing these videos. There is times when Chelsea have been brilliant. Liverpool, 2 games against Atletico Madrid. But there's also times when Chelsea have been mediocre. Leeds, Southampton, Man United, and last weekend, Sheffield United. Despite the fact we scored late, it was mediocre. You have to say that. And you just wonder how long Chelsea sort of progress with just these 1-0 games. So I'm asking you guys the question as we get into this video. Is 1-0 going to be enough going forward in the big games we've got coming up? For example, Man City, FA Cup semi-final, Porto, and then possibly, if we get through, touch wood, against either Real Madrid or Liverpool in the semis. And if we get through that game, possibly Bayern Munich, PSG, or Man City in the final. Maybe, maybe not. But we have to look at the argument on both sides. So if this video feels like something that you'd enjoy, smash that like button for me and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, but hit that bell for notification so you'll notify when my videos come out. Again, as I was saying, we have to look at both sides of the argument. We have to stimulate your mind and get you thinking. And it is about those two statements that has really sort of triggered thought in my mind overnight. That's why I wanted to do this video today. So let's start with positives. Let's use the sandwich technique they call in the workplace. Positive, negative, positive. We have to be subjective. Stick with me. The positive. Unbeaten run in 14 games is outstanding. 2 goals conceded in 14 games. And you look at the likes of the games, you look at some of the games we've played. Man United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid twice, Everton. All clean sheets. Outstanding performances. Then you look at the other side of the coin. As I said, poor performances. Southampton, 0-0 Man United, where we should have beaten them. Leeds, which was dire. And then Sheffield United at the weekend, where we've got to be honest, if they took their chances, second half late on, we could have been 2-1 down. But we held on to 1-0 and sneaked a 2-0 win late on through Hakim Ziyech. And we have to be honest about that. There's no point being all singing and dancing and all this. We've got to be honest. And we've got to be subjective. Chelsea are in the FA Cup semi-final, in the Champions League quarter-final with a great draw, and inside the top 4 with a run of fixtures coming up that could really cement our place in the top 4 for next season. It has been brilliant, a brilliant run, an outstanding achievement for a manager who come in and had less than a day to prepare some sort of a tactic to get through his first game against Wolves. The back 3 with the 2 wing-backs has been the cornerstone of Thomas Tuchel's unbeaten run and success so far. The problem with that on the flip side is you look at the likes of Hakim Ziyech, okay, of late he's done well with his 2 goals in 2 games. Christian Pulisic, who's nowhere near back to where he should be. Kai Havertz, who's beginning to find his way, hopefully as a number 10, which his performance against Atletico Madrid proved that's where you've got to play him. Don't play him as a number 9, doesn't work because he always keeps dropping deep and allows Sheffield United at the weekend to have a lot to just win the ball back easy up front and come back at us. We need someone up there that's a proper number 9, whether it's Giroud or Werner. And then you look at Timo Werner, who's very rarely, handful of games have been played as the front man, which you just know, if you're in games where you're under the cosh, one ball over the top in the channel will put Timo Werner in and hopefully he can do the business. But he's been adopted as a number 10 or played wide left for the most part. So you look at those 4 players, Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic and Havertz. Okay, Pulisic was brought in the season before, but those 3 players were brought into the tune of around 150 million in the summer. And to this point, we're not really getting the best out of them consistently. And that has a detrimental effect on what we're creating in games. and what we're converting in games. That article was, the headline was fantastic. Defensive record, brilliant. But the flip side, lack of creativity in goals could cost us. And it could. The back three has been solid. You know, you look at the likes of Rudiger, you look at Mendy's record, you look at Christensen coming in for Silva, you look at Aspi, new lease of life. You look at Callum Hudson-Odoi as a right wing back and Reece James. You look at Alonso's got a new lease of life. Chilwell's come in. You look at the midfield three, Kovacic, Jorginho's got a new lease of life under Tuchel. Conte's back to being what N'Golo Conte is, which is just ridiculous. And that's 2/3 of our team, which is so comfortable with the formation and the way they're playing, and has been the cornerstone, the bedrock of our unbeaten run so far. 2 goals conceded in 14 games. Outstanding. You have to be subjective and sort of be a bit Jekyll and Hyde with it in this particular thought process and flip it round. So what's happening up front? We're not scoring enough goals. We're not creating enough chances. We're not converting enough chances for one reason or another. And I genuinely fear that when you come up against the likes of Man City, FA Cup semi-final, when you play against Porto, we saw how Porto played against Juve in both games. They were brilliant, organised, disciplined, created chances, won the game on merit over both legs. They're going to be difficult to beat. As I said earlier in the video, if you beat them, you got either Real Madrid or Liverpool in the semis. In these big games coming up, is 1-0 going to be enough? Are you going to keep a clean sheet against Man City? Are you going to keep a clean sheet against Porto, Real Madrid, Liverpool? And then you get to a final, you look at, could be Man City, PSG, Dortmund or Bayern Munich. Is a clean sheet and a 1-0 win going to be enough? Maybe on a one-off occasion. But you just have to think that, you know, there are real times when we have been mediocre. We have been poor. We were poor against Sheffield United overall. No disrespect to Sheffield United. They're bottom of the league. They're mediocre. Leeds are literally keeping an eye on the 40-point margin to make sure they're safe for next season. No disrespect, but compared to the squad we've got, they're mediocre as well, and we drew with them. We struggled against Leeds. And you just wonder, after a period of time, these sides we come up against are going to study Thomas Tuchel's tactic in depth. It's almost a bit like Maurizio Sarri thinking about it. He come in the first 10, 12 games was brilliant. People couldn't really work us out. Then they worked out, you stopped Jorginho, you stopped a Sarri team, and it all started falling apart. And it was then sort of brought back to life with different players coming to life, like Hazard, Giroud, for example. And it's sort of, I just hope it doesn't go this way for Thomas Tuchel and this Chelsea team this season. But I genuinely believe, and I keep saying it in my match commentaries, we need to come up with an alternative, a plan B in game to switch to. Because at the minute, it's like-for-like changes in the same positions. And the opposition managerial sort of team and their scouting team can begin to read what Chelsea are doing and really sort of look at counteracting our tactic. And it will happen at some point. Pep Guardiola, you look at Guardiola, Zidane, Klopp, you look at Hansi Flick, you look at, you know, these top managers around the world, Pochettino. If they come up against Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, they're going to figure us out. Diego Simeone didn't, because they've been flying high in La Liga, but they were dismantled over 2 games. They had no clue what to do against us. But do we honestly believe that all those other teams will be the same? They're not going to be. So we need to come up with an alternative. And this is where those 3 players that come in the summer, along with Christian Pulisic, if anything, should be playing together in a 4-man attack, in a 4-2-3-1 formation. In game, just switch the formation, change things up a bit to get hold of that ball and dominate the game again. And let those 4 players up front, Pulisic left, Ziyech on the right, Havertz as number 10, and Werner up front, just create havoc because they got the potential to do so. Roman Abramovich, the Chelsea board, paid out between those 4 players over 200 million just on those 4 over the last 2 seasons because of the exciting talents that they are. And they're being stifled at the moment, being shoehorned into playing number 10s. Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz suits him. But Pulisic and Ziyech in particular, being shoehorned into number 10s. They're not number 10s. And Werner needs to play up top a lot more. So that's the negative part. That's my arguments for change. That's my arguments for the fact that we do need to be scoring more goals and we could be found out, and is 1-0 going to be enough? against these big teams between now and the end of the season. The positive is that we've still got options on the bench to change. That is the positive. You know, we're looking at the players now that are playing for Tuchel, and I've said it before, new lease of life for most of them, rejuvenated. We look solid. We looked compact. Yes, Sheffield United should have been 2-1 up against us. We have to be honest. 2 massive chances they missed. A header from McGoldrick. Brewster shooting wide from just inside the box. Could have been 2-1 down. Leeds could have beaten us. You know, they had the better chances than we did second half against us. Tuchel talked about the fact the players were tired. Sorry, but you train for 2 hours a day. You play for football 90 minutes on a Saturday or maybe 3 times a week. Don't tell me you're tired. I'll take your salary and I'll jump through hoops. Simple. So I don't think that's an argument because everyone's got the same schedule. We just need to make sure that we've got a plan B, because I think between now and the end of the season we're going to need it. It's been brilliant. I can't see Chelsea conceding plenty of goals. It's not going to happen under Tuchel, but we need to be scoring more. And that's the whole point of this video. It's the whole point of the argument. This video has been inspired by that article and the statement on social media. What do you guys think? I've spoken enough. I've given my sides of the story, both sides of the argument, being subjective again. So let me know what you think about the whole situation, the way we're playing. Between now and the end of the season, is 1-0 going to be enough? And if you agree that we should have a plan B in game to change it when it's not quite working for us, because teams will find us out. Let me know what you think about this video and anything I've said in it in the comment section below. Drop a like on it for me and then subscribe to the channel. But make sure you hit the bell for notifications to be notified when my videos come out. My content on my channel is all about to entertain you and to get you guys thinking. I'm nowhere near as big as the likes of George, Blue Lions TV, Eunice, but I'm just trying to grow. So hopefully, if you do enjoy the content, spread the word for me. Have a fantastic day. See you all next time.